Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Legacy United Voyager class Ramjet. You can see him there in front of his box. We'll go ahead and put him off to the side real quick and take a look at that box. Yep, you can see his Legacy United, and this is going to be the last time you see this kind of box on this channel, because yeah, after this, it's moving on to the next line. But yeah, Ramjet right there in his vehicle mode. You got Generations Transformers, that Ramjet's name. There you go on the side here, you got, of course, you got Ramjet in his robot mode and looking all stern and serious right up there. Up top, you got Legacy United right there, and here's half of that line-wide artwork with the 40 years thing. On the bottom here, you have some what's included in some copyright information, and on the back, of course, you have more copyright and warning, and of course, product shots, and there you go. You also have, of course, instructions, which are pretty straightforward at this point. If you have one of these secret molds, which at this point you probably do, you know what you're doing. So, yep, Ramjet, and there he is in his G1 colors, and yes, this is the final. This is my final review for Legacy United, probably, unless assuming there's no weirdness regarding like later releases. I think the HasLab Omega Prime might be under Legacy branding still, but I'm not sure how they're going to hold that. And it's definitely also the last of this mold I'm going to review. I don't care if there's more comes out. This is the last one I'm going to review on this channel, period. Because yeah, I've reviewed this already 6 times. This will be number 7. So anyway, getting close. Yeah, you can see this is a very G1. Paint color scheme and everything. You got the black and white up here. You got a bits of gold up and red up there in the vents. You got, of course, Conehead and the orange cockpit chest and everything. More white and black guns, and a little bits of red and gold down here on the kneecaps, and more black. And hey, of course, he's got black and red on his wings, and of course, little Decepticon logos are right there, and all that stuff. And there's the back. Of course, you can see bits of the wing pieces just kind of chilling out back there, and this the front of the jet and everything, and there you go. Really nothing too new here. It's this Earthrise Seeker mold, and the Earthrise Seeker mold still being used all these years later. That was 2020 when these came out. Oh my god, he's been using these. This is the 5 years of this mold. Granted, it's not as bad as the classics version, whatever. Yep, once again, articulation, you got the heads on the ball joints, you got left and right, you got up and down, you got waggle and wiggle and all that stuff right there. Of course, shoulders can go full 360, although you have to be mindful of these bits right here. They go outward as well, right there. You have a bicep swivel, you have the elbow, which goes more than 90 degrees, well, just a bit more than 90 degrees. Nothing at the wrist because of how it transforms. No waist because of how it transforms. You got the hip skirt right here, get out of the way, so hips can go forward that far. Right there. You have to go a little bit out to avoid that hinge. Go back only that far because of the butt plate outward. You have only that much range outward. You have, of course, thigh swivel. You got the knee, which mine just popped apart. Knee right here, which about 90 degrees-ish. And here at the feet, you always have the ankle tilt. And the feet, you got the toe can go down and the heel can go down. And of course, you have other things like, hey, look, here's the, gun, shoulder guns, and you got this kind of, these can swivel, so you can have them back if you want, you can have them forward if you want, you can do whatever you want there. Although mine, I remember this double mesh from peg, one of them actually was slightly off it, but, it wasn't a huge problem to fix. So there you go, that's pretty straightforward for the posability. And yeah, as you see, the only accessories to come with are, again, these guns, which are already plugged in there. Of course, you can plug them in there. You can plug them in his fist if you want, and if you want to be wrong, all that stuff. Although, yeah, technically, if you want to be more correct, of course, it'd be the big old like bomb-looking ones that they did, but they didn't do that with here. And of course, blast effects, kinda, sort of. There you go. If you want, although it barely fits. Yep, that's Ramjet. Pretty straightforward at this point. If if you have any of these molds, you know what you're expecting. I will say this one is, I think, the best. Weirdly enough, despite the fact it's the 7th version of this mold I have, it's probably, I think, the best overall when it comes to like tightness of the joints. Mine also has a weird little bit of red right there. Looks like a bit of paint transfer happened at some point, but yeah. When it comes to tightness of the joints, this one is overall the best, where it's like, it's not too tight, not too loose. Everything seems to be mostly just right. The only thing I would say is the knees. The knee joint is a little tighter than I like, just because this was more willing to pop out than the knee joint moving initially. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much, I think, overall the best in regards to joint tightness. So real quick, one comparison I'm going to do before I get all the Seekers in here is there's a Studio Series 86 Optimus, just to give you an idea there, because that's the new standard. I'm sure the Megatron, Studio Series 86 Megatron, well, not 86 anymore, whatever they call, is going to be roughly the same height. So we'll see in that front. I'll bring in Starscream for that, and you'll know from there. Yeah, anyway, speaking of Starscream and other Seekers, let's get the whole group in there. And Starscream, of course, you're causing problems because you're Starscream and you always cause problems. This is not the Earthrise one, technically, though. This is the Studio Series 86 version, so, but, you know, that's the same thing, essentially. But yeah, we're going to try to get them all in frame here. There's the lineup of G1 Seekers and Coneheads. All 6 of them in hand now. It's possible to get... I think Thundercracker and Skywarp are still only releasing that 2-pack, so, you know, maybe down the line they're probably going to release them individually. I don't know, but I don't have to care about that. I got the ones I want. I'm done. So there they are, all 6 of them lined up. And one last comparison, just because, you know, here's G2 Ramjet. Yeah, the G2 Ramjet I have. So there you go. So that's robot mode. Again, Seeker, if you have this mold and any capacity, you know what you're getting. So transformation is, again, pretty straightforward. If, again, you have this mold, just, you know, get the guns off the arms. Take the hands, move those up, you know, move that up onto the forearm like that. Open up the forearm, collapse it onto the bicep, close it up. Open this up, collapse it on the bicep and close it up right there. Make sure the fists stay on there. Take the nose cone and bring it up over the head, tab that in. Open up the chest, bring this out, turn it around, bring it around and clip it in place back there. Bring the arms in right there. Close this up like that. Close it up. Then come down here, close up the feet like so. Close those feet up. Tab them together. Open up the shins. Collapse the legs in. Make sure it tabs in back here. Close this back up like that. Bring the wings, straighten those out. Straighten out these wings and then collapse these down like that. Get that all lined up. Collapse this down and push this part forward and get that all lined up best you can. That all lined up right there. Corrected. And of course then take the guns and peg them back into the wings like so. And like so. Could also peg them on right there if you want, but you know, this is where I'm going to put them. And there you go. That's Ramjet in his vehicle mode. Right there. Yep, that sure is a Ramjet looking jet. I mean, yeah, you got the kind of the pseudo F-15 base fuselage, and then you got the wings, which are hyper modified and everything. You know, red and black there. Got the Decepticon symbols right there. You got the orange cockpit and the black right there for the intakes, and yeah, you got, of course, the robot pretty much just chilling out underneath, which is pretty common, including that big old void right there. And yeah, there's no gear yet again, and of course, because the Coneheads have the massive kneecaps, they kind of sit funny because of that, but, you know, it works overall. And there you go. This Ramjet, you know, pretty similar to the 2-pack release that was from years ago on Amazon, although I believe they made some minor changes. I'm not sure. I think they changed some stuff around because I think they swapped what was painted and what wasn't. For some things, so you know there might be some differences. I'm not sure what's going to get scraped, if anything gets scraped or not, but I heard some of the differences are there. I'm not sure what they are personally, but yep, overall it's a pretty good looking jet, but you know it's the Earthrise jet again, so you know, really not much here I can talk about other than I will say sometimes these wing bits don't want to quite line up when I transform it. The little wing tips right here don't always like to line up properly, but that's the only my only real complaint, honestly. But yeah, otherwise, it's probably the best example of the Earthrise mold in the sense of again, build quality overall. Not my favorite in the looks department, but you know, it's a pretty good one overall. But yeah. So yeah, once again, actually I'm gonna do things a little reverse. But yeah, here's the G2 Ramjet again. Not gonna bring out Optimus again because well, they're not in scale. I can tell you right now, a semi truck and a jet being the same size is not in scale. But yeah, there's a G2 version, which yeah, unfortunately mine has got, yeah, oh boy, I'm not sure you can see that, but oh boy, the yellowing. It hasn't gotten worse than that, but yeah, it did yellow a bit, unfortunately. Thankfully, mostly in places that aren't very hidden away. But now, of course, got to try it again. Fit 6 jets on screen at once, so here we go. I tried. Yeah, 6 jets. Yep, the Seekers, the whole Seeker squadron. 3 F-15s and 3 heavily modified F-15s. But yeah, I think of all of them, Skywarp and Thruster are some of my favorites because just between color and design. And also Thrust at least maintains some degree the slightly more complex nature of the original 3 versus Ramjet and Dirge are very simplified just because of the nature of the Coneheads. So there's 6 jets, I guess. I'm going to pull it back just a bit. Yep, you can see 6 jets all lined up, and there you go. Yep, Ramjet here is, yeah, it's an Earthrise Seeker jet. At this point, again, you probably know whether or not you like this jet, this mold or not. I'm personally fine with it. It's pretty decent. So if you're a completionist, it's pretty good. If you just like Ramjet, yeah, it's a pretty solid Ramjet. If you're a completionist, yeah, it'll do fine, and it seems like it's probably the best. When it comes to tolerances, it's probably the best overall of all the Seekers I have. But yeah, it's Ramjet. You know, at this point, yeah, likely for a lot of you, it's just simply you're buying it because you missed out on the Amazon exclusive version, and you're just trying to complete your Seekers and Coneheads. So for that, so in that regard, it's pretty good. But yeah, it's like you'll know this mold at this point. If you're probably this far in, you're at least at least 5 Seekers in already. So you know the score when it comes to this guy. But yeah, you just know QC wise, it's pretty solid. I'm not having any real major issues. So I'm pretty sure most people won't have them either. It seems like they might have cleaned up the mold a bit just to make sure it doesn't completely degrade. So yeah, you know what you're getting with this mold at this point, and really much I'm probably not going to be able to say anything one way or the other, but unless this is the first one you're getting, which is it's a solid mold. It's kind of simple for what it's kind of simple. It's got limitations in pretty articulation, but yeah, it's solid. It's solid, and you'll probably buy just because you're trying to complete your Seeker. So there you go. I hope this video is informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social medias down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee and my Patreon. And I'll see you next time with another video review.